Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Gitanjali and today we will be talking about the atmosphere. So atmosphere basically is related to air. So air comprises of different layers of gases, water vapor, dust particles, and they basically are held to the surface of the earth and does not allow them to move into the space because of the gravitational pull of the earth, which basically binds the atmosphere towards the earth's surface. Approximately 70% of the solar radiations or the rays which are coming from the sun, which generate heat energy, is absorbed by the atmosphere. 30% of it is reflected back to the space. This is called terrestrial radiation and does not require to heat the surface of the earth. Now, ozone, carbon dioxide, water vapor, these are the three main constituents which absorb radiations of the sun. The ozone layer absorbs the harmful UV rays or UV radiations, that is ultraviolet radiations, which is a kind of a protective layer in the atmosphere which protects us. Because if we are exposed directly to all the rays of the sun, our skin will get burnt. So it protects us from direct sunlight. So that is why the earth is well protected by the layers of the atmosphere. Gases in the atmosphere, once they have absorbed the solar radiation, they scatter the blue light, which is of a shorter wavelength of visible spectrum. So visible spectrum are the rays of light which human eye can basically perceive, and this blue light glows around the horizon, which can be seen from outer space. If you see the earth from an outer space, the earth appears to be blue in color. This is because of the blue light that has been transmitted by the gases of the atmosphere. The outer limit or the boundary between the earth's atmosphere and the outer space is called as the karmanline, and this has been named after Theodor von Karman, who was basically a Hungarian American engineer and physicist, and he was the first person to attempt to calculate an altitude limit for airplanes. Talk about the basic composition of the atmosphere. Now, atmosphere consists of various gases. Basically, it contains 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, and 0.03% carbon dioxide, which are the main constituents of the atmosphere. Then less than 1% are the rare gases like argon, neon, helium. Also has an unpredictable proportion of water existing as a gas like water vapor, liquid like clouds, rain, sleet, and solid like snow and hailstorms, and other solid particles like smoke and dust. So great contrast in weather and climate over different parts of the world happens because of this. Atmosphere consists of various layers that we will be talking about. We on the earth live at the bottommost layer of the atmosphere, which is called as the troposphere, which is the densest part of the atmosphere. So the troposphere extends up to 6 to 10 miles above the equator and 5 to 7 miles above the poles. That means this is the densest part of the atmosphere, consists of 75% of the atmospheric total mass. There, as we move higher the altitude, the temperature keeps decreasing, but the volume of air keeps on decreasing along with the temperature. So this is called as the lapse rate. All kinds of climatic and weather conditions take place in the troposphere because it contains a lot of water vapor and dust particles and gases, and thus precipitation in the form of rainfall, hailstorms, sleet, as well as cloud formation, humidity, they all occur in the troposphere. The troposphere is ideal for living beings as it contains the necessary gases as well as it provides with adequate temperature. The boundary between troposphere and the next layer, which is stratosphere, is called as tropopause. Now, stratosphere extends up to 50 miles or more, and in this layer there is no cloud formation. Stratosphere does not contain any dust, smoke, and water vapor, and is free from all kinds of climatic conditions. It is not only very cold, but it is cloudless, and no climatic and weather conditions take place, and the air is extremely thin. It also contains a layer of air which is called as ozone layer, which is a very important layer for the Earth's surface. Ozone layer or ozone shield is a region of the Earth's stratosphere that absorbs most of the ultraviolet radiations of the sun and protects humans and other living things from the harmful UV radiations of the sun. So, ozone in Greek means a strong odor. But nowadays, due to human activities, ozone layer is getting depleted very rapidly. One of the important causes is the emission of chlorofluorocarbons. One chlorine molecule from CFC or chlorofluorocarbon can destroy up to 100,000 ozone molecules. So, chlorofluorocarbons are the main cause of destruction of the ozone layer. Compounds like bromine, halogens, as well as nitrogen oxide can also cause damage to the ozone layer. The next layer is the mesosphere, which lies between thermosphere and the stratosphere. Now, this is the highest level or the layer of atmosphere. Here, the gases are mixed up rather than being layered. So, it has more gases as compared to thermosphere. Meso means middle, so it's the middle layer, about 22 miles thick. And have you seen a meteor shower where the meteors burn up and streak across the sky? Some people call them shooting stars. They are basically meteors that burn. Meteors fall, they make through the exosphere and the thermosphere, but when they reach the mesosphere, which has got gases enough to basically cause friction, they create or generate heat which burns the meteor and thus causing shooting stars. Between the mesosphere and the exosphere lies the fourth layer, which is thermosphere. Why is this called as thermosphere? Because the ultraviolet radiations, they cause photoionization and photodissolution. That means the molecules are activated and forms ions. Ions are either negatively charged or positively charged molecules. Now, this absorbs the solar radiation and causes very high temperatures around 4500 degrees Fahrenheit. So, in the thermosphere, a lot of heat energy is absorbed. Thermosphere forms the auroras, a dazzling light show caused by the colliding particles. Here, the satellites also orbit around the Earth. So the thermosphere extends up to 90 kilometers from the surface of the ground. If you hang out in the thermosphere, you will be very cold in spite of the high temperatures of the thermosphere because there is hardly any gas to transfer the heat energy into your body. Then comes the ionosphere, which is the ionized part of the upper atmosphere from about 48 kilometers to 96 kilometers above the sea level. It's a region including the thermosphere and some parts of mesosphere and exosphere. Here, the extreme ultraviolet rays and the X-rays of solar radiation ionizes the atoms and molecules, creating a layer of electrons. It reflects and modifies radio waves and enables communication and navigation. The outermost layer of the atmosphere is the exosphere, which comes after the thermosphere. Exo means outside. Now, it is composed of low densities of hydrogen, helium, and several other heavy molecules, including nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. Atoms and molecules are very far apart from each other, so they travel across hundreds of kilometers without colliding. So, therefore, exosphere extends up to outer space. Now let's talk about the advantages of the atmosphere. Atmosphere contains various gases like nitrogen, which helps in nitrogen fixation of the soil and retaining the fertility of the soil. Then there is carbon dioxide, which is used by the green plants for photosynthesis, and oxygen, which is used by all the living beings for breathing. Vapor enables cloud formation and also adds to humidity in the atmosphere, which leads to different climatic conditions. As well as temperature is maintained and balanced because of the layers of the atmosphere, and it contains the ozone layer, which protects the earth from the harmful UV rays or ultraviolet radiations.